That's Duran with A View to a Kill, the theme song to the James Bond adventure of the same name from 1985. Of course, this weekend, the big Skyfall premiere. The new James Bond adventure comes out. And tonight, we've got another Bond girl on the show. Tanya Roberts, who played Stacey Sutton in A View to a Kill, is with us. She was also a Charlie's Angel, as well as the sexy Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, which was a movie I wasn't allowed to see back in 1984, which upset me greatly. But I've since caught up with it. But more importantly, she's also a local gal. Welcome to the show, Tanya.
Yeah, I am. I'm from New York. I'm a Manhattanite.
At what time did you decide to leave for California?
I decided to leave in 1979, I think.
And, well, then you got Charlie's Angels pretty much right after that.
Right after it. As soon as I came out, I did one little film, and I jumped right into Charlie's Angels. It was like all of my fantasies happening all at once. It was like incredible. I just came out here. I should have come out way earlier. I should have come out even younger. But I just, I wasn't prepared for it, I don't think. But anyway, I went up for the audition and got it right away, and then all of a sudden it was off to Hawaii, where we shot our first 6 episodes, and it was like an amazing, talk about class. Speaking of class, which I always think of as Cubby Broccoli having the most, and he produced the Bond movies, well, his television counterpart would have to be Aaron Spelling, who had the most class in terms of doing 1-hour television than anyone else. Our wardrobe was impeccable. We could shop at the most expensive stores on Rodeo Drive for our clothing. There was nothing too good for the Charlie's Angels show.
Now, did Cubby Broccoli see you on that show? Is that how you were cast?
No, he actually saw a movie that I did called Beastmaster.
Oh, of course.
And he saw it, and he just said, "That's who I want." And I was in Africa shooting Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and he said, "Do you mind flying in for the day?" And I flew in for the day, and he met me, and right then and there, they offered me the part, so there was no, audition or anything like that.
In watching that film again, and it's one of those movies I've seen all the Bond films about 20 times because they're just that type of movie franchise.
Yeah, you can watch them again and again.
Yeah. My lasting memory of A View to a Kill is you surrounded by fire. When they burned the city hall, I guess, in San Francisco.
Yeah, we're hanging in the elevator shaft.
Obviously, you're surrounded by the cream of the crop in terms of technical effects and stuff like that. But at any moment, it looks almost, of course you're a great actress, but it looks like you're actually terrified.
I was. Believe it or not, we were hanging there, and there were laps of flames, licking at our ankles. There were, but there was never anything dangerous, really. But you did see it beneath you, and it did give you pause.
Right. And of course
it was one of those things that was it was like in Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, when I rode bareback through about 100,000 hata beasts. If I had fallen into a pit hole or something, I would have been trampled to death. I didn't even think of it at the time. That didn't seem half as scary as being in that elevator shaft with the flames all around. I don't know what it is about fire. I think fire scares people more than anything else, or is one of the scariest things.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And then at the end of the movie, in contrast, flooding. Then you've got water to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were thankfully saved by Roger Moore. What was it like working with Roger Moore?
Oh, he was incredible. He was so witty and sweet, always had a kind word for everyone, always came on the set a total pro, knew all his lines, and always was witty and funny and just great, a consummate professional.
I know that he does have a reputation for joking around on the set and making everybody laugh. I think on one of on the current DVD, which, by the way, I should mention that there's a big 50th anniversary Blu-ray pack. You can get all the Bond movies, including A View to a Kill. And I think there is some outtakes and there's some joking around. And it looks like everybody on that set had a lot of fun. And what an incredible cast. Christopher Walken and...
It was great, and Grace Jones. It was just incredible. It was totally a perfect cast, and like I said, everything was so first rate, and it was just a pleasure, a total pleasure. The locations were off the tank. We shot outside Chantier, outside of Paris, and on the seashore in England, and in San Francisco, and then at Pinewood, where the largest studio in the world, the largest set is the Bond set to this day.
Now, I have to ask you if you've kept up with any of the Bonds after Roger Moore. That, of course, was his last movie. What do you think of the Bond franchise continuing? I guess it's going to continue forever.
It'll never stop. And you know why that is? I think it's because they keep such close rein on it. I mean, they really, really watch and make sure that it stays with all the class and that it has all the special effects, that it has a very strong storyline. Their casting is impeccable. They have that incredible sound stage. They don't spare a dime. They're really, they intend for this to go on forever. And Daniel Craig is, I think, fantastic because he's a little different. He's not that suave, witty Roger Moore type. He's much more earthy and street-like. And he said even himself, he said, I have a lot more nicks and bruises all over me because I'm not so witty and cool. And he likes the physicality of it, and that's very different from Roger. So it's a really nice change.
Now, I have to ask you, because I don't think I've ever heard your opinion on it, but what did you think of the Duran Duran song, A View to a Kill?
I loved that song. I loved it. I thought it was so great.
Now, of course, I think some of our audience might remember you also from That 70s Show. I just want to talk about that for a second, because that had to have been just so much fun to work on a sitcom. I mean, obviously you did dramatic television.
I had never done comedy, and the funny thing is that I was a natural for comedy, and I always had done it coming up in the theater and stuff, but I had once I get cast as Charlie's Angels, that just sort of put an end to comedy until all those years later when suddenly they thought, hey, she'd be great in this sitcom. And it turned out to be perfect. I adored it. What I loved most about it is we shot in front of a live audience, so right then and there, if you're kicking ass or if you're not kicking ass, right there, the smell test, either you go over or you don't go over, and it's apparent immediately, and that's a great gauge, and that's a really wonderful way to work. I would never want to do sitcom that wasn't in front of a live audience. I think that takes all the fun out of it. It makes it so much more like doing a real live show when you do it in front of the live audience.
It sounds like you'd be up for another one.
Oh, would I? I am dying to get another one. I got my feelers out looking for a sitcom so bad. I love it. I just love the whole rehearsal thing. It's like doing a play.
Yeah.
I love the whole rehearsal thing. You really shoot one day a week, and the whole rest of the week is rehearsing and tweaking the script. And then you shoot one day a week, and you have 2 days off for the weekend. It's a very normal lifestyle. You get 2 weeks off for Christmas. You get 3 months off at the end of the season. It's probably the most like being in school.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Of any gig in California, so It's great. I would love to get another one. So, from your lips to God's ears.
By the way, where can someone catch up with you with what you're doing?
Oh, go to my website. As a matter of fact, I'm doing some of the intros for the CSI experience in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I host some of those shows, so that's a lot of fun for me. And I'm the new spokesperson for Resort Stay in Las Vegas. They're really turning Vegas around a lot. They were going very up-end for a while, and now they're getting back to their roots, which was really an affordable vacation for anyone and everyone.
All right. And I'm sure people probably want pictures and stuff like that. So
the same thing. TanyaRoberts.biz.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. It was a pleasure. Great talking to you.